The Vereenigde Oostindische Compagnie, or VOC, was founded in 1602. This marked the beginning of a new era in global trade and commerce. It was a Dutch company established by the Dutch government to monopolize the lucrative spice trade. The VOC was very important. It played a crucial role in the economic and political landscape of the 17th century. It was the world's first corporation. This meant it was a new type of business, pioneering the concept of a joint stock company. This meant it was a new type of business. Investors could buy shares and receive dividends, spreading the risk and reward. The VOC was created to trade with Asia. It established a vast network of trade routes and outposts. European countries loved Asian spices. These exotic goods were highly prized and fetched high prices in European markets. Pepper, cloves, and nutmeg were in high demand. These spices were not only used for flavoring food, but also for their preservative qualities. The VOC wanted to make money from this trade. It established trading posts and forts to secure its interests. The Dutch government gave the VOC special rights. These privileges allowed it to operate with significant autonomy. It could act like a country. The VOC had the authority to govern territories, mint its own coins, and even administer justice. The VOC could make treaties and declare war. This gave it immense power and influence over the regions it controlled. It could also build forts and have its own army. This military capability allowed the VOC to protect its trade routes and enforce its monopoly. The VOC sailed to the East Indies. This area is now called Indonesia. The company wanted to control the spice trade. It established trading posts and colonies. The VOC became very powerful. It had a monopoly on the spice trade. This meant it controlled the supply of spices to Europe. The VOC made a lot of money. The company's success had a big impact. It helped make the Netherlands wealthy and powerful. The VOC's actions also changed Asia. It led to colonialism and exploitation. The VOC was innovative, setting the stage for modern business practices. It developed new ways of doing business that were revolutionary for its time. One important innovation was the creation of the stock market, a concept that transformed global finance. The VOC was the first company to sell shares to the public, allowing ordinary people to become part owners. This allowed people to invest in the company, spreading financial risk and reward. Investors could share in the profits, receiving dividends based on their shares. The stock market helped the VOC raise large amounts of capital, which was crucial for its expansive operations. This money was used to fund its operations, including vast trade expeditions and the establishment of trade routes. The VOC also developed new forms of administration, which were essential for managing its complex operations. It had a complex system of bookkeeping, which was advanced for its time. This helped the company keep track of its finances meticulously, ensuring transparency and accountability. The VOC's innovations in finance and administration laid the groundwork for modern business practices, influencing how companies operate today. Section 4. Shaping global trade. The VOC had a profound impact on global trade. It helped to connect Europe and Asia, you know? The company's ships carried goods back and forth, including spices, textiles, and porcelain. The VOC's activities stimulated economic growth, creating new markets for European goods. The company's success also inspired other countries to start their own trading companies. The VOC's legacy is complex. It played a role in colonialism and exploitation, but it also helped to shape the modern global economy. Section 5. The VOC's shadow. The VOC's success came at a cost. The company exploited people and resources in Asia, using its power to control trade. The VOC often used force to get its way. The company's actions had a negative impact on local populations, disrupting traditional economies and societies. The VOC's legacy of colonialism continues to affect the region today. The VOC's story is a reminder that economic success can come at a high price. It's important to consider the ethical implications of business practices. Section 6. Decline and dissolution. By the 18th century, the VOC was in decline. Once a dominant force in global trade, the company began to falter under the weight of its own success. It faced competition from other European powers, such as the British and the French, who were eager to break the VOC's monopoly and establish their own trading networks. Additionally, corruption and mismanagement within the company also weakened its structure. Internal conflicts and poor decision-making eroded the once strong foundation of the VOC. The VOC's monopoly on the spice trade ended, as other European nations began to establish their own direct trade routes to the lucrative spice islands. Consequently, it was no longer as profitable. The financial strain became evident as profits dwindled and operational costs soared. The company went bankrupt in 1799, marking the end of an era. The once mighty VOC could no longer sustain itself. In the aftermath, the Dutch government took over its assets, attempting to salvage what remained of the company's vast holdings. The VOC's rise and fall is a cautionary tale illustrating the volatile nature of global trade and the perils of overexpansion. It shows that even the most powerful companies are not invincible, and that unchecked ambition can lead to downfall. It also highlights the importance of ethical business practices and sustainable economic models, reminding us that long-term success requires integrity and foresight.